All right, there it is, kiddies. It's on. It's on. It's done. Well, it's not done. Almost done. Close to being done. Aerospace Components C6 brake kit, front and rear. It's on there. She looks good. She looks real good. Happy with the kit. Quality, fit and finish, everything about it. The rotors, the hats, calipers, everything is just, the fit and finish is terrific. Really badass stuff. Really badass stuff. Very impressed. Got the fronts on. You're gonna notice if you if you see me on Instagram that you know that something looks a little weird here. I don't have the C7, the billet hub. I bought the billet hubs when I bought the kit. This is a factory hub. The long and short of it is, you know, the old adage, what is it? Measure twice, cut once. Yeah. There's a lesson for you kids. Pay attention. Pay attention. Measure twice, cut. Read all the instructions. Okay, don't just throw them out. I screwed up. I done messed up, and that's the reason why I'm gonna have to use the factory hubs, C6 hubs, on my setup again. I won't be able to use C7s. I tried. Really, all the kit itself, the install was pretty straightforward. No fuss. All of the headaches that I ran into were of my own, doing, and changing studs and changing, size and stuff like that. And then there was the whole hub situation. So if you recall, I ordered the badass C7 billet hubs from Aerospace when I did the ordering, and they are advertised as C7. And the folks there at Aerospace did tell me, look, they'll work on the C6, and they do. They bolt right up. Obviously, pattern, everything's the same, and the depth and all that good stuff. It's fine. However, excuse me, being that they are for a C7 does mean that if you're familiar with C7s, you'll notice what there isn't is a provision for the wheel speed sensor, or rather, there's no sensor. There's no sensor built into the hub, right? C6s, it's incorporated, it's integrated into the hub. It's got the little pigtail that sticks out here for the connector. C7s use a detachable, right? A two-piece sensor right here. It's a separate sensor. And my whole issue has to do with the way the sensor sits and the way the sensor is supposed to be installed. I don't have if I had a C7 knuckle, just to look at for reference, I could have avoided a lot of the headaches. I would have seen how and where the opening is for the sensor relative to the housing, the bearing. I didn't have it. I guess, I kind of looked online and did the best I could with pictures, and the long and short of it is I got it wrong. Now, to their credit, Aerospace does provide you with documentation. And there again, had I decided to actually go through and read this stuff and click the little video here, the little QR for video, and look at the installation, look at all the instructions, I would have seen that, actually, this is what kind of caught my eye here. I'm looking through all the stuff that's kind of off to the side, and I realize it looks like a drill going into the backside of the housing, backside of the bearing, and I'm wondering why in the world that would have been on the back. I thought it wasn't supposed to be in the middle. That's where I ran into a problem, and I ended up drilling the knuckles in the middle incorrectly, thinking that that's where the sensor would sit. It does not. It sits further to the back of the knuckle here, and it's supposed to read. It's basically supposed to sit something like that. Okay, it's supposed to notch this a little bit. It's supposed to sit right there. That dark piece right here. The housing doesn't move, right? The bearing spins inside. That dark piece is the ring. That's the tone ring. It's inside there, and this is supposed to sit right over and pick up the ring. All right, the sensor, the square wave. And like I said, I didn't realize that when I put it together, so I already drilled these out, and unfortunately I can't change what I already did. So the long and short of it is I won't be able to use these kick-ass hubs. And that's a shame, because I do like them. I really do like them. Beautiful piece. About a pound lighter. I think I said in the videos, about a pound, 1.2 pounds lighter per hub. Not a lot, but every little bit certainly helps. I did mention that I didn't feel they're low rolling resistance. I didn't notice it when I was kind of had them on the bench with one hand. I was flicking them around. When I had it on the car, I will tell you that you do notice they do spin a little bit easier than the factory hubs, or factory bearing. There's no question. So my hope is that the good folks at Aerospace will release a C6 version of these hubs, right, with a C6 bearing that incorporates the sensor, and then I can go ahead and get a couple of those and put them on the car, and yeah, could rock and roll with that. But unfortunately, I don't have that. So in the meantime, I'm gonna be going ahead and doing the deed with these bad boys right here. It's factory hub. I just went ahead and got a set of ARP extended factory studs, factory 12 mil studs. The rears, I went with the ARP half-inch conversion. I think they label it as a C5 conversion, but a C5, C6, same thing. Half-inch studs. The hat here, right, the billet hat has to be opened up. I did buy a reamer bit, a half-inch reamer, so I opened up the holes for the half-inch, and then, you know, aluminum is soft, it went right through it, no problem. Tap these guys on, they're good. Everything's bolted up back here. It's fantastic. Like I said, fit and finish is great. I'm happy with it. I mean, honestly, it looks killer. And really, if not been for the stuff that I did, like the half-inch, the different studs, and the messing around with the hub, this probably would have been a one-day in and out deal. It's very straightforward. It's not complicated at all. You know, there again, like I said, quality's been fantastic. I obviously haven't driven on it yet. I do need to get a replacement hub for the right side. I absolutely mangled the hell out of that one. So I'm going to get a replacement hub bearing, get studs put into that one, install the right side, and then we're Gucci, baby. We're good to go. Get this thing down on the ground and get some test driving going. I've got to blow the front end of this car off right now, actually, and got a crank seal, front crank seal leaking. So I've got to rip it all apart and get that stuff taken apart, get the seal replaced this weekend. And I'm hoping here by next weekend, yeah, I'll be able to take some power hits finally and see what this thing does. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. Again, you know, shout out to the good folks at Aerospace. Is a hell of a kit. I like it. It's good stuff. Fits great. Looks great. A buddy of mine has this on his 01. It works fantastic, and I've seen several other cars with it. So I'm confident it's going to work great. Looks great. So I can't be too upset with that. So that's about it. Next time, I'm going to make another video here once I get it all together, get it running, just give you, kind of a once-over impressions on how it feels stopping and whatnot. So I'll give you some more details on that. But, until then, stay tuned.